Today I'd like to talk about how to become a fisher of men. Many people want to do great things for the Lord, but they just don't know how. All they have is a desire, but that desire does not have knowledge. That is what it says in Romans chapter 10, verse 1 and 2, that the children of Israel, they had zeal, but their zeal was not according to knowledge. Many times when people don't have knowledge, they just do something and they do it and it just goes nowhere. That's why we have seen in the past decade, we've seen an emergence of a lot of churches. We have heard about pastors, we have heard about prophets, we have heard about apostles. We have started their churches in the streets, and it does not go away further. You'd actually see that after 2 or 3 months, after 2 or 3 years, that man of God just left the church and it's no longer running, it's no longer functioning. Why? Because they had zeal, but their zeal was not according to knowledge. But how do you become a true fisher of men? How do you become someone who is doing what the Lord has actually called him to do? I've got a scripture here that I'm going to read when Jesus first called some of his first disciples. It says in Matthew chapter 4 verse 18, "And Jesus, walking by the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brethren, Simon called Peter and Andrew his brother, who were casting a net into the sea, for they were fishers." And in verse 19 it says, "And he said unto them, Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." And immediately and straight away they left their nets and followed him. Look at the instruction. It was very, very simple. He said, "Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men." All that they had to do was to follow him, and he would make them what he had called them to be. He said, "Follow me, and he says, I, Jesus, I will make you the fisher of men." All that you have to do is to follow me. And we look at one good example. Peter, he followed Jesus for 3 years, and after he had followed him, in Acts chapter 2, we see actually that Peter, he preached to more than 3,000 people, and they gave their lives to Christ the same day they were baptized, because he followed him, and Jesus made him a fisher of men, and he did great things for the Lord, because what he did is he followed Jesus, and he became what Jesus called him to do. And this does not only apply to the pulpits, but to almost every aspect of life. Many people, they are doing what they were not called to do. They are in the wrong place in which they were not called to be by God. The best place that you can be is where God has called you to be. And the best thing that you can do is what God has called you to do. So, what you have to do is to follow Jesus, and he will show you what he has called you to do. He will show you, he will make you what he has called you to be. Just trust in the Lord with all your heart and do not lean on your understanding. Follow him, faithfully follow him, and he will make you what he has called you to be. He will make you a fisher